You have a right to joy just for being. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back, and because medicine has spent decades teaching us otherwise. You don't have to have checked a certain number of boxes or lived through enough hard seasons. You have a right to joy just for being. I'm Dr. Kim Nichols, physician, coach, and the founder of Level Up with Dr. Kim N. And I'm so glad you're joining me for the Level Up. Today is part one of a two-part conversation about joy in medicine, what joy is, and three things that get in the way of it for women physicians. Because for many of us, the joy in our work is not gone. We just need to find it. It's sitting underneath expectations and the resignation that comes from spending too much time in a career that hasn't evolved with who we're becoming. But there's hope in sight. So let's take a look back for a second. Remember when you were a little kid and it was the last day of school? You were so excited. You had a whole summer to look forward to, running around and playing outside with your friends. Or what about your birthday? Knowing the birthday fun was just around the corner? That was joy. And then as a teenager, perhaps it was getting to hang out with friends who really got you. Or a first love, staying up late, talking on the phone, not wanting the moment to end. Eventually, you chose medicine, and there were moments of real joy in that choice too. Moments where a difficult concept finally clicked, or the last free summer in your career, waking up with nowhere specific to be. Whatever those moments were, I invite you to hold them for a second. Got it? Okay, good. So then, what's happened for women in medicine? What's happened to our joy? Probably a few things happened. Somewhere along the way, our voices shrank while our administrative tasks grew. Relationships that once energized us became harder to maintain. And for some of us, similar things happened at home. Responsibilities grew while space for ourselves diminished. We're showing up in a lot of places, but not necessarily fully living in any of them. I remember a specific morning right around that season of restlessness I described in a previous episode. I was walking into work from the parking lot and realizing I couldn't remember the last time I was excited to be walking in. Yes, I was grateful for the privilege of caring for other people, but I also had a new realization that the culture had shifted from one of care to one of productivity, and the quality of care I was delivering was no longer what was being measured. What it once felt like a calling turned into something I was just getting through. I felt as if I was losing me from my own career. That was the moment I knew something had to change. On paper, my CV looked good. I was still doing the things, but a spark had gone missing from the inside. And if this is resonating with where you are right now, no, this is not the end for you. You get to decide the point where reclaiming your joy begins. But first, let's make sure we're speaking the same language about joy. You may never have thought about it this way, but joy is a deep emotion. It's durable. It can even be present in your hardest seasons because it doesn't have to be based on what's happening around you. Professional joy, that's when doing your work feels meaningful. It uses the fullness of who you are, not just certain parts. Joy is rooted in the sense that what you're doing matters and that you're doing it as you, the you that you really are. And teaching in an OR and a classroom, coaching people to the version of themselves they want to be, leading a team towards something they didn't think was possible. Those are moments when I experience professional joy along with taking care of people. And regardless of what's happening in the background, I'm excited for the next opportunity to do those things. That's joy, and it's worth pursuing intentionally. So, if joy is still available, but it's just buried, what is keeping us from finding it at work? In my experience, it's three things. The first thing I see get in the way consistently is misalignment. When the environment or role you are in no longer reflects your strengths, your values, or the areas you want to grow, joy becomes very hard to sustain. Misalignment can feel like doing a lot of excellent work, yet still wondering on your drive home what you accomplished and how it all matters in the grand scheme of things. I had these thoughts several times when I was trying to strategize on how I would get promoted in academia. The second one surprises people because it seems counterintuitive in a job built primarily around other people, but it's isolation. We were in school and training for a long time, and we learned a lot about how to keep people alive, whether it's managing airways, interpreting data, or designing complex management plans. And somehow, in all those years of education, we would be hard pressed to find someone who had received a lecture on how to best care for our colleagues in medicine. And for those of us interested in that, we were apparently supposed to figure it out on our own. This culture in medicine celebrates competition, yet minimizes individual accomplishments. So when we do accomplish something, it can feel like we're not supposed to celebrate, like it might even seem shameful to do so. And so we celebrate silently and alone. It's hard to feel joy in those settings. People are social beings. We need community and we need each other. And when those connections are not there, neither is joy. The third one is so deeply baked into physician culture, we may not even recognize it anymore. It's deferred living. And as physicians, whether we want to be or not, we are pros at this. We are trained to tell ourselves that joy will be coming later, and we're rewarded for that mindset. I'll enjoy my life when I finish residency, when I make partner, when I make professor, when the kids are older. Any of these sound familiar? I bet we all know someone whose answer would be yes, but later doesn't come for some people. We also tend to look for joy in the wrong places. We're waiting for something big to happen, something we think is worthy of celebration. But remember that last day of school as a child? There was so much joy in the participation of summer activities, even if there was nothing in particular on the schedule. What if we started looking for joy in simpler things like a beautiful sunset, a newborn fawn, a new restaurant, a new hobby, or music? Those may not be big things, but they are real things that matter. So, what if we started living intentionally and living joyfully today, regardless of where you are in your journey? So, there they are, the three things that I see block joy most consistently for women physicians: misalignment, isolation, and deferred living. If any of those landed for you, I'd love to hear which one. Drop in the comments which you think most affect people in their medical careers. And if someone specific came to mind while you were answering that, please send this episode to her. In part two, we're going to talk about what you can do about this. Three things you can start doing to begin finding your joy again, including the one I believe has the most power of all. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the episode, and share with another woman physician in your life who needs to know that she can find joy again. If you know you don't want to wait, the link to book a conversation is in the description below. I'm Dr. Kim Nichols, and you've been watching The Level Up. I'll see you next time.